Hi, I'm Dr. Paul, and this is my beautiful wife, Lynn. And today we're going to add a little bit to what we previously discussed on video about diabetes. So I'll let Lynn give an introduction here.
Okay, we did a three-part series this week on diabetes, and it's Dr. Paul's personal story, but it's a personal story and a national disaster. There are millions of people diagnosed with diabetes and millions more who are undiagnosed but have many of the symptoms of diabetes. So what we've done is we've put together a diabetic support package with our plasma energy station and some additional products. Now, if you've looked at our website, you've noticed that we have what we call the Basic Preparedness Medium Kit. And what that is, we've taken a package where you can get any 8 vials that you want, and we've given a group price on that 8 vials. And we don't care if you have ordered the most expensive vials on that package. Well, what we're going to do is put that package together for diabetic support. And so what we have in that package is, and I'm going to give you the list of it. If you don't have a plasma energy station yet, that would be included in one version, the version 1 of the package. Also in the package we have the plasma energy vials of Clear Mind, Clean Mouth, Eczema Relief, Eye Formula, Detox, Healthy Gut, Pain Relief, and Parasite Relief. And we'll cover each one of these. But I'll let you know that the whole grouping of package 1 comes to a total of $853. And what we've done is priced it at $657, so there's a $196 savings. Package 2 is the same thing without the plasma energy station, because we realize some of you probably already have a plasma energy station. That version, the vials that I've already listed, come to $616, but the package is priced at $427, giving you a $189 savings. Now let's get into what we hope that this will help anybody who is trying to support their body when they have a diabetic condition. Paul, let's talk about each one of these. So we'll just start at the head of the list, and we've got sorry, I gave you the wrong list to look at. So we've started out with Clear Mind. And as a diabetic, would you like to just say why you would want Clear Mind?
It seems as you progress with age and have diabetes that brain fog is a little more common. And I was noticing that several years ago, but since I've been using plasma energy, it seems to me like the brain fog is gone. It's just my thinking is more clear and more rapid. You get it to a point with age and with diabetes, because of the constriction of the blood flow to the brain, that your thinking is slowed down, and you know you have the answers in your head, but you just can't bring them up right away. It takes a while to get there. But with using the plasma energy as I have for the last 2-3 years, that doesn't seem to be a problem anymore. So that's just personal experience from that. There's no research on it. There are no documented studies That's only my personal experience.
Okay, so then our second ingredient that we have, the vial that we would send, is clean mouth. And there's a lot of issues as far as blood supply, nerve supply when you have diabetes. So how is clean mouth going to be helpful?
Clean mouth, for some reason, helps I guess it helps blood circulation in your gums, because last time I was at the dentist, it's probably been 6 months ago, the hygienist said, "Wow, your gums really look nice. What are you doing to keep your gums so in such good shape? They're not even receded at all." And all I said was, "Well, I just brush my teeth regularly," because I didn't want to get into a long discussion with the hygienist about plasma energy. It's not something they want to hear, and it's not something that they're interested in.
Okay, and just on a personal note for myself, at one point I had like a fistula in the gum, and when they saw it, I was there for a regular routine cleaning. They said, "Oh, you've got a problem here. We're going to have to schedule an appointment. We're going to have to do a root canal, and take care of this issue." Well, I didn't make the appointment, and I came home and just used the clean mouth really vigorously. I made a little cotton swab, cotton roll, and put on that condition, and it went away. So when I went to the next appointment, they kept looking at my chart and looking at my mouth, and they said, "You never came in for an appointment." And I said, "No, I didn't." And I just left it at that. So those are a couple things that have been our experience with the clean mouth. And the next one, Paul, is eczema relief.
Now, that's the same situation with eczema. For diabetics, it's more of it seems like dry skin, an itchy problem over your whole body. And sometimes it even gets a little scaly. But with the use of plasma energy, I've been able to eliminate the use of skin lotions to control the itch. And I use the use the eczema relief in a spray bottle, and after a shower, I spray myself with a light mist and just let it air dry, and I don't have any skin issues. In fact, it's been commented on by several people that my skin looks really good. And for a diabetic, that's a big problem, because there are oftentimes skin issues.
Okay, and then the next thing we have is eye formula. And eye issues can be a big problem for diabetics, right?
That's very true. I was diagnosed with cataracts. I'm sure some of you have heard this story already, but I was diagnosed with cataracts 3 years ago, and with the use of the eye formula, my cataracts have reversed, and I no longer have them. It's also been reported that some people have gotten relief from macular degeneration, stopped it, and didn't go blind, which is a real benefit, because going blind, especially when you're old and have had sight all your life, that's a real problem. My son has had a condition with dry eye for quite a few years, and he used this formula, and he got over his dry eye. He was able to quit using the expensive eye drops that were prescription. So, and my wife Lynn, I don't know if she eliminated or reduced floaters.
Well, I'd say they're reduced. The floaters that I have a lazy eye I've had since I was little. And so all the work is done by one eye. Well, that one eye is the one that gets all the floaters. And the floaters had reached the size that they were more like swimmers, and they had fins and tails and would swim across my vision. But what's happened now is that is cleared up. There will be an occasional little gray dot that goes by that I hardly notice, and it isn't every day. So that's a real relief when you utilize one eye all the time anyway for most of your vision that you're doing, whether it's reading or long distance sight or whatever. It's a real relief not to have the floaters as part of what you're dealing with. So then the next one that we have is detox.
Now, the detox, I don't really have any dramatic testimony about that. I have used it, and I didn't really notice any changes, but I think it's because I was not that toxic to start with, because I've already been using plasma energy for 3 years, and I didn't have that much to detox to get rid of from my body. I didn't have that many toxins in me, so I didn't notice a big difference with that. Now, some people will feel a little bad when they use the detox. It's just because all those toxins are trying to escape at one time, and it's overload. It's overload for their organs trying to handle all of that.
Well, another way that the reason that the detox was included is that we had a report from one of the people that used our plasma energy, and last August he's getting close to 50, and it was his birthday month, and he said he made a decision he was going to lose weight. And for a lot of diabetics, weight is an issue. Well, what he did, he already had the plasma energy station. He had Clear Mind, Clean Mouth, and Detox. He combined the waters of the station, Clear Mind, Clean Mouth, and Detox, and made that his drinking water every day, all day. He said he drank a lot of water. He ate 2 meals a day. He cut out the junk. He wasn't hungry. He was walking 2 miles a day. Lucky for him, he lives in a nice climate. And in March, when he sent me an email telling me about this, he had already lost 70 pounds. He ultimately lost over 80 pounds. And it wasn't a struggle. He didn't have headaches. He wasn't dizzy. He wasn't cranky. He wasn't feeling hungry. So when you have a combination of plasma energy that you can drink and balance your body, you're going to be able to skip the cravings that you used to have and bring everything into a better balance. Now, can you get by on 2 meals a day? One of the things we're going to suggest is that you do your meals in a set time frame so that you end up with a 16-hour fast time that you're not eating food. So let's say you get up and you have a healthy breakfast, you're drinking your water all day, and then maybe around 4 in the afternoon, you have what you would call your dinner meal. And then you just drink water for the remainder of the day. That's going to give your body an opportunity to do some detoxing. It's going to give it the opportunity to do some balancing, because it doesn't have that constant influx of food, possibly junk food, that's making your blood sugars go haywire and making you crave more of the same food. If you do a lot of online research, you might start finding that there's some additives, especially to junk food, that make you crave more of the junk food. So that's just a suggestion of a way that you might look at using the whole detox, clear mind, clean mouth, and plasma energy station combination. And then, Paul, the next one we have is healthy gut. And that's a very recent one that we have just completed. And before I go too far with this, I want you to talk about your blood pressure, because that's a big issue for a lot of diabetics.
Since I've been using the plasma energy, I have not made a real effort to actually get rid of high blood pressure medication, which I have been on for a long time, like 15 years or so. And but I noticed that my blood pressure, because I check it myself here at home, I noticed that it was going lower and lower and lower. And so I started cutting back on the blood pressure medications, and it still went lower and lower. So I totally eliminated the blood pressure medications. I was initially on three different ones, and then I went to 2, and then I was on 1, and then I totally eliminated that one, and that's been about 6 months that I have not had any blood pressure medications at all. And my blood pressure is 120/68, and sometimes it's even lower than that, like 110/65. So, and I don't take anything to control my blood sugar, my blood pressure, other than the plasma energy water. And I don't take it in any specific way. I just drink it for everything that I'd use water for.
Okay, so that's a really big deal, because when you have high blood pressure, and a lot of people get a little careless with this whole thing, what happens with that? Where's that gonna take you if you have sustained?
One of the things is severe kidney damage, and that's what happened to me. Was I had lost both kidneys, and I had to get a kidney transplant due to high blood pressure. And now it's not a problem, because the balance in my system, due to the plasma energy water that I drink all the time.
Okay, and so healthy gut is just one more thing that we have in the mix, and here's what the combination of things that are in healthy gut with celery juice GANs. You want to say what GANs is?
GANs is gas in atomic nanosolid state. And I'm going to say something about the celery here. When we made this celery GANs, I went and bought a whole, I don't know what you call a bunch of celery, a group with about 15 sticks of celery in it, and organic. I made a special effort to get organic, and that was $8 just for one package of organic celery. Now, if you're going to juice this celery as it's recommended and drink a 8-ounce glass every day, you're going to be spending at least $8 a day for celery. Plus, you got to get a juicer and go through all of the hassle of juicing it. And you may not get 8 ounces out of that package because there's not that much liquid in the celery. It's mostly pulp. Anyway, if you go that route, you're going to be spending like 300 or how much is
$240 a month if you drink one a day.
$240 a month to supply yourself with celery juice. So an alternative to that is the vial that has the celery juice Gans water in it to charge the water that you drink with plasmatic field of the celery Gans.
Okay, and some of the other things that are in there's quite a bit in Healthy Gut. And what it does is it's relieving digestive disorders. It's going to provide the brain with support. It's going to help balance blood sugars, blood pressure, weight, and adrenal function. These are the ingredients that make up the GANs of the Healthy Gut /celery vial that we have. And it assists health in people with a wide range of chronic illnesses, of which one of them is diabetes and thyroid disorders, eye problems, Lyme disease, and eczema, addictions, brain fog. So there's another reason for adding the Healthy Gut celery vial to your group here. And then the next one we have on here is pain relief. Are there any issues with pain with diabetics?
There is with me. Because I have pain from arthritis, but I used to have it, let's say. I don't anymore. I have used the plasma water, and I don't have that problem anymore. So the thing about having diabetes is everything is out of whack. Your whole system is out of balance. The blood vessels get compromised, and you get a low blood supply to certain areas of your body, to your brain and your eyes and your hearing and your extremities, and so everything gets out of kilter, and you're going to have pain just because everything's out of balance. And having a vial of pain relief it just makes good sense. It's something that most of us would welcome when we're hurting.
Well, and one of the things I forgot to bring to the table to show you is that Paul has completely minimized how he deals with pain in his knees. He used to wear 3 round vinyl tubing rings that he'd put on over his knee and calf every day. But then he had to take them off at night, so he was without that energy assisting him while he slept. And he decided one day to see what happened when he took Band-Aids. Fabric Band-Aids, just little fabric Band-Aids, and sprayed or dropped, about 7 drops of pain relief on them.
Right.
And let them dry thoroughly, and then there an X. Well, show on my arm how you would do it if this was your knee.
Well, if this is my knee right here at this wrist, on one side you would put an X so that you've got a double thickness of the pad with the Gans water on one side and just a single thickness on the other side, so that you get a gradient of difference of intensity of the plasmatic field across this sore knee. And as the fields flow across here, that it will balance the energy between the two sides, and in the process give relief from pain. And if it's not hurting, why is that? Well, I think it's because you're building some new tissues in there, and we'll see as time goes by. But with the experiments I'm doing on myself, I'll check here in another six or 8 months and see if I can get by without any of these Band-Aids on. And if I can, then I'll know that there's been some reconstructive bone and cartilage refiguring going on in my knees. And I'm going to give that a serious try, and I'll let you know what happens.
Well, and one thing I'll mention real quickly that really surprised me. Several years ago, I made some small pads that I wore. I've worn support hose for years because of varicose veins. And they were this size on one side and then a smaller one on the other side of my leg. And it was at the top of my calf. Well, I happened to decide one day I was just going to take some of his Band-Aids and try them. And I've done this for probably 3 or 4 weeks. And I just got to looking the other day at my leg, and I see that the swelling has gone down on the vein that has always been swollen, and on another vein that had been swollen, on a lower leg vein that was not as pronounced but was still swollen. I was really surprised. So I'll keep wearing the Band-Aids. To me, it's my new fashion accessory as well as a necessity.
But that's something I could really notice too, because as long as I've known Lynn, she's had those veins in her lower legs sticking out. And I noticed here, I think it was yesterday or the day before, she was showing me, and it's gone. It's not bulging out anymore, and you can't even see the vein there like you used to be able to. So that's a real improvement.
Well, and the pain relief is addressing inflammation relief. So whether it's inflammation in joints or tissues or veins or whatever. So, and then our very last one that we're including in here is parasite relief. And we choose to think that we just don't have parasites. Well, is that true, Paul? You worked with animals and they all had parasites. So how is it that people wouldn't have parasites?
People do have parasites. And we have them in places that you wouldn't even think of. We have them in our liver and our intestinal tract. We even have them in our eyes, some people do, and in our eyebrows up here, in our skin. So when you're diabetic, these parasites are exactly that. They're parasites, and they take advantage of a situation where a person is weak or they have poor blood flow, And those parasites